Hello and welcome to this second tutorial on using Fluid Mask. In the first session we looked at the basics of Fluid Mask and the settings of the additional FastARTIST underbase in dialog. In this tutorial we're going to take a look at dealing with edge blending. When working with photographic or scanned images, the edges between what you want to keep and what you want to delete is normally a blend between the two color pixels over a distance of several pixels. For example, take a look at the image of the flower and now the zoomed view that shows the transition with the background more clearly. You can see there is an area of around 3 to 5 pixels that blend the flower with the background colors. If we wanted to remove the background so we could print the flower onto a colored t-shirt, we would need to create the same type of blend between the flower and the shirt color so that the resulting print would look natural and give the impression that our flower was part of the shirt. The good news is that Fluid Mask does this automatically for you. So with the image selected, I'm going to go and launch the Fluid Mask feature. In the first tutorial we spoke of the auto edge detection process in Fluid Mask and how it will seek out any natural edges within your image. When dealing with complex images, finding the right number of edges and regions is important to help you select the areas you need to discard. You can control the number of edges detected to more or less with the edge finding scale slider here on the right. If you don't initially get the best results, it's worth adjusting this to gain improvement. Okay, so I've skipped forward here now and I've filled in my background with red delete mask. This is all the areas that are going to be discarded when we perform the cutout. Now when you've finished flooding all your areas with red mask in this way, it's a good idea to use the clean or delete function from the image menu. This feature will mark for delete any areas you might have missed. So if there was a small area or region in the middle of all your other deleted areas, it will seek out that part and flood it with delete mask so that it's included when we perform the cutout. Okay, so I'm now happy that all the delete areas are selected. So I can now go to the image menu and select Auto Fill with Keep, and this will instantly flood all the remaining areas with green keep mask. What it also does is create a blend between my two areas as if I had manually used a blending brush, and this is the region on screen that's shown by the blue line. The width of this blend is controlled by the blend mask tool on the right. You can select none to apply no blend, thin to apply a thin mask, medium, and this will apply a thin mask to sharp areas and a medium thickness blend to softer edges, and finally thick, and this will apply a blend mask with a thickness appropriate to the sharpness of your edges. Now this toolset allows you to control the blend between the keep and delete mask, but you will need to make your selection here prior to using the auto fill with keep feature. Next I'm going to click on the cutout tool here, but before I do this, let's take a look at the intelligent blending area. The intelligent blending will control how the pixels in the blend area are processed. Fluid Mask has two methods for blending the edges along the cutout border, Feather and Smart. The Feather method is a simple transition across the edge, and the Smart method uses the characteristics of the colour and texture variations around and across the edges to determine how an edge should be blended. Sharp edges remain sharp, whereas blurred edges retain their softness of the original image but with the background colours removed. Smart blending will typically produce higher quality results, however images with an edge of low contrast or lots of noise may result in uneven blend. In these situations the feather blending should be used. Essentially these properties will always need adjusting on a job by job basis. The great functionality of Fluid Mask means that if I perform the cutout and the results are not as I expected, it's simple to revert back to my original image, make some adjustments, and then create another cutout. It's simple to change the background colour in Fluid Mask to simulate the shirt colour. Just click on this palette and then select the colour you need. Here you can see how the blending will look when placed on a black shirt. Okay, so when I'm happy with my results, I can click Save and Apply, and the image will be returned to FastARTIST. In the underbase in dialog, we have the gamma control, and this will affect the amount of white underbase that is applied to the edges where the image blends with the shirt color. The right setting here will depend on many factors, including the image, print mode to be used, and even the amount of pre-treatment that's applied to your shirts. Too little here and the underbase will be choked back, creating a harder edge, and too much will create a halo effect. You'll need to adjust this slider to find a value that suits your job. The last task here is to click OK, and the image plus underbase are created as one grouped object that's completely ready to print. There are many more features of Fluid Mask that we have not covered in this brief introduction tutorial. To find out more on this great new feature, take a look at the tutorials on the Fluid Mask website.